So here's a question: does the Premier League need United to thrive?
How so? What do you mean?
Well, when you look at the Premiership, it's the biggest league in the world. All the riches, all the money, even to the point where you have uh, other leagues. Well, I shouldn't say the league, but you have commentators from other countries saying the Premier League should share their money. We saw Gillian Balaguer have a very passionate conversation when they say the Premier League should give other European leagues money. I don't know where he was going with that, but that's the point they reached. And the kind of growth of that, when you look at it, was quite aligned with Man United's dominance. And everyone talks about Man United kind of being up there with Real and Barca as some of the strongest or the biggest football brands every year. We had the Deloitte Money Report, Manchester United. But they haven't been the same Manchester United for what, 12, 13, 14 years, maybe longer, whenever Fergie left. And if you speak to Man United fans, that last year of success, it was a rubbish, quote-unquote, rubbish team.
Mm-hmm.
So has that kind of drop off of Man United's footballing success? Has it harmed the Premiership in any way? And would the Premiership be thriving even more if Man United were at the heights that they used to be?
Yeah, I mean, as a Liverpool fan, I hate to do this, but I think, was it Tom Scudamore who used to be the
Richard Scudamore.
Richard Scudamore,
yes.
Who was the head of the was it the Premier League or the FA?
Premier League.
And he said it. The Premier League thrives when Man United are doing well, and
he shouldn't really be talking like that.
He shouldn't,
as the Premier League is,
but
is owned equally by all.
I mean,
20
if
clubs,
we're being honest, you have to look at the reach and the global kind of distribution of the brand that is Manchester United.
Yeah.
They are, I think, the three biggest clubs in the world at one point, and probably still, were Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Man United. So when you have a club that is recognized worldwide as one of the top three, you have to think about what that does for TV sponsorship, TV rights, sponsorships, and merchandise. Right. So if Man United are doing well, more eyes essentially want to view the league. And then also when they have players, so like when they had players like Park in their squad, think about what that does in Asia.
Yeah.
Like look at Spurs when Son was at his peak and the reach that they had in Asia.
When they went on their pre-season tours. Whew.
Exactly. You have to look at the numbers. They have over 659 million followers. In terms of viewership, their biggest, a fixture against Arsenal, in terms of average viewers, pulls in over 2.3 million viewers.
Wow.
And that's just in the US alone.
Fair enough.
Forget worldwide, that's just the US alone. Man United versus Arsenal.
Yeah.
Regular fixture, week 12, Man United versus Arsenal. Do you know? Do you understand?
Yeah. So you're saying, Man United being at the top takes the Premier League to another level.
It takes them to a level that no other team can take them to.
Yeah.
So essentially, a team like Man United sitting at this table, when they're doing well, all the benefits from being at that table fall down, trickle down into the rest of the league, right? So, as mentioned before, the viewership. If Man United are doing well and the TV companies come in and say, right, we want everyone to see not just your global games, your European games. We want them to see your week in, week out games. That's extra money, and the league benefits from that, essentially. So you need your bigger teams to do well because it keeps the eyes and the viewership, it keeps the reach, and it keeps the corporate money circling the league. Without that, if Man United start dropping off, they have dropped off. So now essentially what happens is they start looking for the other big teams, the other big brands. Not just a team that's doing well. They're not looking for like a one-off. Leicester winning the league, they're not going to now replace Man United.
Yeah.
Or, if Arsenal were to win the league, they're not going to replace Man United as the big brand.
Yeah.
And that's not a shot, but that's just, they haven't built that cachet, essentially. So for me, I think the league does need their behemoths.
I don't know, man. And the reason why I say that is I think the shift that's happened since Man United were kind of at the top of their game is a lot of the younger fans who, through a decade plus, if you're 10 when they started declining, you're in your early 20s now, right? you know, they started to follow players. And that helped other teams' profile rise, right? And I'm not even going to come to the deals that the Premier League has signed since. I'll come to that. But I think the shift in what attaches people to the game from clubs to players has also helped clubs with, who are accused of buying the leagues or not having much history to now build really, really strong fan bases because those younger fans are, they're supporting KDB.
Yeah.
Which means they support Manchester City. They want a Manchester City kit because of KDB.
Yeah.
They're supporting Haaland. They're supporting Saka. Do you know what I mean? So I think that shift from kind of following the club, and then that club is so big, it buys players that you then, like they always buy all the big players, which is what Man United used to always do, to be fair. Now that actually a lot of the younger fans in that time follow individual players rather than clubs, I think that spread out a little bit. And then if you look at the Premier League in total, I mean they've kept signing record broadcast deals. So no one has been able to kind of chip away at that value and say, well, look, one of the main reasons we pay this money is because Man United are doing their thing in the pitch. If it's not, then nah, the deals have still gone through. Viewership has grown as well. And if anything, it's allowed the driver of the Premier League to spread out a little bit. Do you know what I mean? It's allowed it to spread out a little bit. It's allowed other clubs to grow. And you see that now also because social media allows people to grow in ways that they wouldn't have done before. Everyone can have a YouTube channel. Everyone's employing social media managers, etc., who tend to be of the younger generation. So they're engaging better. Sometimes they take it a little bit too far. We see a few tweets here and there from clubs and we're like, you're going to have a job tomorrow. But I honestly think that the Premier League is in a fantastic place, regardless of Man United's decline. And I would even argue that the relative increase in competition is the best thing for the league. Now, City won 4 Premier Leagues in a row, so. But overall, if we look at, is there going to be a time again where a team wins 12, 13 Premier Leagues in the time that they win it? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I'm not sure we'll go back to those days. So,
I can understand that, and I hear that. I mean, was it like 4 teams have won the league since United last won it in 2013?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean the narrative. It depends on which way you look at it. I mean, you can look at there's two kind of narratives, right? There's the omnipresent, beast of a club like in the Bundesliga where you have Bayern Munich.
Yeah.
Or you can look to the Premier League where you don't know who's going to win the league.
Yeah.
And it depends on what your appetite is. What kind of storyline are you looking for? Do you like it when there's just one strong team that just dominates, or do you like it when there's an kind of like base level chance heading into the league? You might have your favourites based on paper, but I mean, look at this season. Liverpool were classed as favourites, and
but what I will say though is, whilst Man United's decline hasn't hurt the league overall, if they do get back to genuinely title challenging, even picking up a title, genuinely being a contender for the Champions League, that does raise the tide. Because it's still Manchester United. And if they're back to that stage, they will be signing certain players. And if anything, the advantage that all the other leagues think the Premier League has, if Man United now get back to the top, with kind of where everyone else in the league has been able to get whilst they've been away almost, Arsenal kind of getting themselves back into a challenger position. Obviously, City, Liverpool, because again, back the last time Manchester United won it, Liverpool weren't a regular title threat.
Yeah.
Now, that's the case. So almost the old guard, Liverpool, Man United back there, Arsenal. So many teams have improved. I think it raises the tide.
Okay.
And I think the Premier League then getting another space. People think that someone is just bad now. A Manchester United with a new stadium, possibly winning the league and being in the latter stage of the Champions League, that's that's a big driver, and then could push the Premier League even further. And that's before other things happen, like the Premier League TV that's rumored, the Netflix of TV and all that kind of stuff. That's an even another level. So if I'm the Premier League, as much as I need to be objective, when I'm getting to those points, like ushering a new era for the Premier League, if Man United are back on their game, commercially, I want them doing that whilst I'm launching that stuff. 100%.
Yeah.
100%. So yeah, as a football fan, I don't want them anywhere near about the top. But overall, when you look at the Premier League, and what it means for the Premier League as a product and bringing money in and all this kind of stuff and driving things, then yeah, Man United being up there is another thing. I just don't think they suffered from it.
Yeah. Okay. So tell us what you think. Do you think that the Premier League benefits when Man United are doing well? Put your answer in the comments and we'll review it and get back to you.
Peace.
Peace.